Hey guys, Boris Last from BK Forex. Welcome to our Forex Daily Technicals for 4/22/13. Will dollar yen finally break 100? As always, trading foreign exchange carries a high level of risk, and we suggest that you take a very careful look at this disclaimer, which shows that Forex trading may not be suitable for all investors. If you'd like, you can pause the video in the middle and come back and look at the disclaimer in the middle of the video. Now let's start at dollar yen, and it's clearly the big story of the night as we open up for trading this week. You can see that we gapped open on enthusiasm post G20. Basically, G20 sort of left the idea of letting Japan do its own thing. There wasn't any serious criticism of Japan in particular. Didn't isolate Japan as a currency manipulator, and all of those things created a more or less positive, buoyant attitude. We broke through the 99.50 to 100 corridor on Friday, and then we gapped open here. But the gap has not had much continuation just yet, although it hasn't really moved up or down. It's just been very stationary. It shows that pretty much the bulls, the bears are right now at equilibrium. Um, Still, the bias seems to be a little bit clearly to the upside. And obviously, the very large, I think it was 99.94 from, okay, you have to go back to like the 4 hour chart, is the yeah, right here. Here's the high that looms right here, just before the 100 level. If you look at the 4 hour chart, it actually looks relatively bullish because we sort of bought the value proposition below, just in front of 99.50, and came right back up. Even on the shorter term charts, you see that the bias seems to be a little bit to the upside, but it's just a question of how much momentum is building, how much more power we have to run through the 100s. There is talk now that Japanese insurers are going to start to expatriate a lot of capital to try to want to invest into foreign denominated bonds. If that happens, that obviously creates a more positive capital structure behind dollar yen trade to the upside. So all in all, it looks like it really wants to go. The question still very much remains open. And then, of course, once we take out, if we do take out the 100, the question is, do we have momentum now to really run it through the? We need to go actually to the weekly charts to show you. I think, no, maybe monthly on the 5 years. Yeah, just to see. And by the way, you see how the structure looks so bullish on the monthly charts here. On a longer term basis, it's actually a very strong breakout today here. But if you look at the monthly charts, the 100 level is, like, I believe right here. Yeah, here's the 101.43 on a monthly basis is the next level of resistance if 100 gets taken out. So jury's still out. Looks relatively bullish. Certainly since 99.50 level holds, we go from the monthly all the way to the 30s. You can kind of see the big differential here. So long as this 99.50 level holds, the buy still remains to the upside in terms of which way we're headed. If we start giving this back, then clearly we're just filling the gap, and we're failing once more time. So that's the big story for the night on dollar yen. Euro dollar continues to hold above the 130 level, but it's sort of just operating in a very thin 30.50, 30.75 corridor. Not much going on here. We did gap open also. I think this is primarily off of the euro yen flows. On the open, kind of came back, filled the gap, and now just sort of standing around doing nothing much. The kind of a very strong rejection of 31s on Friday definitely is a negative proposition. We rejected it twice, once and then rejected it twice. Still looks relatively negative, and of course to the downside here, the downside really is around 30. I think it's about 30.45. Yeah, somewhere around there. 30.45 as the first support level, and a break here through the 30.30s really does open up the possibility of a big test for 130.100. So the euro is far from bullish at this point, but kind of holding its own as it bides its time. Cable, of course, had a big flip around on Friday. We went to test the highs off of M&A flows, and then came right back down on a downgrade by Fitch, and it looks negative today. The one thing that happened today was we tested just in front of the 5200s, just the lows were around the 5200s, and came right back up. So as long as we're holding this 52 level, that actually may be bullish in terms of cable because it's kind of rebuilding as a base. Break to the upside here at 52.40 puts it much more a more bullish posture. A break below 5200 obviously continues the negative trade. So for the time being, if you're a support buyer, you can kind of buy it, against the 5200 support. And if you're waiting for momentum, momentum really takes us out at 5250 on a breakout to the upside. And Aussie continues to be sort of very negative, not much going on here. It is holding the lows here at 102.60. It kind of double tested the lows off of Friday, sort of did a small double test, rose to 103s, came right back down. It's sort of doing nothing much, but also holding higher lows here. So if you're betting on the fact that risk stabilizes turns, you see that both it in pound, Aussie, and to a small extent the euro, and therefore you have an opportunity here as a support trader maybe to take a punt on the idea that the risk turns. As always, forex trading carries high level risk. We invite you to read the disclaimer with great detail to understand the full risk of trading forex. And lastly, let's just take a look at euro yen, which is really the big story here on the crosses. Euro yen is the 131 level. That's the key level that everybody's looking at for a potential breakout. It's a very, very similar story, by the way, from dollar yen. You see gap open, kind of staying stationary here. But of course, you have the open question of the euro as well as the yen on this cross. But if you go a little bit further, towards the 4-hour level, you can see right here is the 131 level. That is the fresh highs that need to get taken out. But also sort of a very similar type of modestly bullish structure of the candle so far, in the sense that we had the lows, we bought the lows. Now we're trying to take out the highs. The 130.50, obviously the first level of euro yen to the upside at 3100 really opens up the full move through the new highs. Anyways, this is Boris Schlossberg for BK Forex. This is the technicals for 422. As always, trading forex carries a high level risk. We invite you to read the disclaimer in full detail. Over and out. I'll see you at the desk. Bye bye.